Hello, Dan here. I'm about a month late, but I've put together some highlights from the year 2024. I'm sorry this is 19 minutes long. Feel free to watch this at double speed if you find the narration insufficiently unhinged. Also, feel free to not watch this. I've organized this roughly into categories. The first category is selfies. Here's me and Heather in Belfast. Here's a Sox game. These are some ones at forest preserves around Cook County, Lake County. Here we're ice skating at Millennium Park and biking around Evergreen Park where we live. Here's West Des Moines at Christmas. Now we're in Kankakee. And now we're having Thai food in Wicker Park. This is Berlin with Ann and Flo and all the folks. Prometheus at Portillo's. Cubs versus A's. Easter at Fourth Presbyterian Church. Here's Heather having some ice cream at home. Now we're having some Thai food in a forest preserve before a gig. Now we're in Helsinki having elk meatballs. Train Hamburg to Berlin. Bastogne. Noon Dublin after full Irish breakfast. Meadowlark in Chicago. Belfast again. This is the Angler's Arm in Ballycastle, Northern Ireland. Dinner at home. Belfast again. Gosh, I'm sorry about all the geographical and chronological whiplash in this thing. Here's that Thai place in Wicker Park again, and the place in Evergreen Park. This is Lamont, Dubuque, having some breakfast. Pizza at Whole Foods, why not? Little Bad Wolf after my recital. Heather's cooking them up. Here's Kankakee. Here's Heather being cute on the playground. Here's Heather being cute on the playground. Here's Heather being cute on the playground. Here's Heather by a tree. What a wonderful person. Here's Heather in nature. Here's Heather doing sports.
Yay!
Oh, here's Heather driving a truck. Here's a diner in Forest Park, camping White Pines Forest Preserve out in Oregon, Illinois. Went to a wedding with her friend Shafali in Des Moines. Here's, oh, that was good. That was a cantaloupe salad, they called it, but it was just a half a piece of cantaloupe with some prosciutto stuck into it. Belfast, some more, the Harlan and Wolff shipyards. That's the last ship that the folks that made the Titanic, that's the last surviving ship. Here's, well, this is the lake, that's Chicago, this is Chicago. Here's our yard. Another more nature, potbelly, picnic, eating good stuff. The Wild Mile down Lincoln Park by REI. Here's, now we're into the cat section. This is Guthrie, this is Rob's cat, but he's over all the time. There's Guthrie and Pixie. A little family photo. Pixie's my parents' cat. He's a goofy goober, always in the way, but we put him with him because he does things like this. I can't. Goodness. Anyway, it's Rob's cat, like I said. There's Robin the cat. There's Robin the cat. There's Robin. You gotta be careful, otherwise Guthrie gets, grab you, he'll scratch you and bite you. Here's Rob, folks. Big weather at Carol's. This is Red Roses. This is my friend Danny Cohen playing some radio weather at place in Pittsburgh. Concert on up here. Ron Carter at Symphony Center. Oh my goodness. Here's gigs I have been involved in. Here's rehearsal at Prometheus at Jeremiah's place. This is a shot from, that's the one still from the music video where we're all in the front. Here's Pat Reedy and Doc Brown on pedal steel. Jeff Yonkis, Tom Cadera on drums. Here's a tent that was too short for my bass. Here's a motorcycle. Worked up a version for these, my students' recital, I should say. Gigs, gig at a hockey barn. That was the first, cowboy themed, of course. Dan Spielman at a gig. Dan Spielman and all the fellas. We had Bob Pearlstein, Colin Cosgrove, Dr. Matt O'Brien. Here's a nice gig in the rain. Great turnout in Lincoln Park. That was a fun one. Playing with Pat Reedy at Fitzgerald's wedding gig downtown. Shubas with Big Weather. And Fleeting Suns poster from many years ago up on the wall. It's cool to see. Alright, now we are traveling. We're going around, this is with Close to You, the music of the Carpenters. I did a show with them around the East Coast. This is North Tonawanda, New York. Very cool former headquarters of where the Wurlitzer factory was. There's all this backstage percussion hooked to the organ. And after the show, the monitor front of house guy told me I could go wander around and see the sights. So I got up here in the, this is not the engineering spaces, but up in the pipes. And this is how the organ is done. I had to include all this in this highlight thing because this is one of the coolest places I have been this year, if not in my life. Just pipes and pipes all over the place, full drum set, percussion section, lots of different sounds. Guy played before our set. That was kind of the background, so I got to hear all this in action, and very fun. Alright, now we're in Oakmont, Pennsylvania, Shelbyville, Indiana, let's see, Franklin, Tennessee, Florissant, Missouri, Bryson, North Carolina was in there, Wichita, Kansas, that was a good one. And we had a day off between a couple of the shows, and the boss, Lisa, there took us to Dollywood, which was awesome. Very, very fun place, especially on a weekday in December. Not bad crowds at all. Just pretty much had the run of the place. Now we're on the way on the road elsewhere. Franklin, Tennessee, that was a nice time. Went to Carter Vintage in Nashville and got to see good buddy Travis Patton. I'm back in the olden day. There he is, checking out mandolins. In more nature. Alright, now we're in the Sparks Fly portion of the show. Sounds messed up on this clip, but this is the green room at the Vixen in McHenry. And the crowd is getting hyped up for the show. Look at all those children. Oh my goodness. Absolute mayhem. Who can believe such a thing? And there's the view from the stage. One bit where I do not play. I think the other clip is the same part of this song. There's Orland Park. Played Taste of Joliet. That was a fun one. Here's Romeoville. Here's backstage Oswego. Justin got this little bus. The kids after this show climbed over those barriers and stormed the stage, which was a first and not entirely acceptable. Here's a fun one in Lindenhurst. We got a bunch of vintage or analog gear, I should say, and vintage. Here's Patrick Starr at a gig in Mokina. That was nice. Halloween, but that's no excuse. Another one in Joliet. Bill loves balloons, so that went well for him. High time. And the Sparks Fly thing was an excuse to get a little synth bass rig, so that was fun. Place in Downers Grove we played, and the Controls, which transitions us to SPL, which is where I would do some work occasionally, doing stuff like this, loading AV gear into trucks, putting my wife under a truck, putting a truck in Wacker Drive, putting a truck in loading docks, sitting in traffic in a truck, honking the horn on a truck. Thank you. Putting things from a truck into a van, putting a van onto a street. Alright, that's enough of that. Now let's do some woodworking. Here's a coffee table. Here's a table I made. This is maybe my favorite thing I've made. That was a good one. Here's prepping for making a giant dining table for the boss of SPL, one of the bosses. Big maple 11 foot by 3 foot something by 2 1/4 inch thick top. Good grief, the thing was huge. And a bench to go with it there. So here's kind of gluing it up and doing epoxy. Look at it, I'm 6'1", that's a big table. Upside down, right side up with a dog on it. Starting to stain. The stain was the worst finishing product I've ever experienced. But anyway, there it is, all done. Okay. Neighbor had a tree taken down. I took some parts of it. That one killed that moving dolly. Rob and I, after a long time, busted it apart. Look at that. That was a big job. And I didn't have any solid ideas, but I got the idea to make a mallet. So that mallet came from that tree, and I'll do some more things. Here's tapering the legs for this table that I made also for myself. Let's see here. Dog. I finally got around to making a bench for the table that I built a year and a half ago. Here's a bookshelf that Rob made for himself out of some lumber I found at a sale that had been at the bottom of the Tennessee River. Dovetails. Made a bed backboard thing, and the guy put lights in it. That turned out cool. Here's a cherry table, kind of that same design as the side table, but simpler and cheaper. Shipped that off to New Hampshire, I think. Alright, here's Rob horsing around at Menards. We're still allowed in somehow. Here's Rob busting up a refrigerator and his car, and still busting up his car. There's the dog. Just general tomfoolery with Rob up in the attic. What fun. Heather made a nice little free library for the front yard. This is Western Red Cedar. Turned out beautiful with that Helmsman spar urethane on there. And there it is installed. Turned out good. Rainbow, backyard, great backyard. Look at this fire garage. What a time. Love this place. Breakfast fire. Here's some spoils from the garden. Squirrels ate most of our tomatoes, but baby ones survived, and we got a bunch of zucchini. 4th of July, fireworks hanging out on top of the garage. That was nice. Nephews in the hammock and block party. Goodness. Niece Hannah Banana? No, Hannah Pineapple. Linda's wedding, the scene, the whole gang. Congratulations. Isaiah with one of my ties that I can never find an occasion to wear. Okay, now we're in Finland, Helsinki. That was a base made in 1776 in Russia. Here's a Finnish icebreaker. Here's a cocktail bar that closed, unfortunately, recently, but we got on it before it closed. This is at Sini and Tuomas's wedding, having a giggle. Beautiful place, beautiful couple. Got to play a couple songs with her and Jussi there. Chef Jussi, this was spectacular. This is a nice restored train station kind of a place in, north of kind of mid-southern Finland. The place is called Kalvitsa. There's a train. We don't have that where I'm from, at least not in degree. But we do have ice cream. We also do not have boats with Rob in them because the one he made sank. Here's a cabin. Here's Heather in a lake. Here's the lake. Here's the lake at night. Beautiful. Germany for a second, and then Bastogne again, and Foxholes in Bastogne with the guys from Band of Brothers Real Edition we're in. Here's Rob hauling ass on the Autobahn. Oh my goodness, look at him go. Very exciting. Munster, stopped there for a minute. Oh, okay, now that was all on the way to this, the Miniature Wonderland, which is a spectacular place in Hamburg, the largest model railroad, model world, truly, in, I think, the world. Yeah, lots of very cool. Thankfully, okay, so we got into Hamburg at about 9 p.m., just in time for all the restaurants to close, but we found one that was open. And then this is open until 1 a.m., thankfully. So Heather and Rob and I walked over there and checked out some, all this late at night, and had a splendid time. Definitely on my list to go back someday. And Hamburg in general, too. Extremely cool. This is Hepstead. That's my ancestral homeland. I had some great-great-great-grandparents from there. Now we're checking out Berlin with Anne and Flo, and beautiful city, extremely cool. Obviously, tons of history. There's the Berlin Wall. There's Heather. Okay, now we're in Balbriggan, Ireland, and and Northern Ireland. Here's the castle. All right, enough Europe. Now we're back in Chicago. There's Leah having a big time. Enough Chicago. Now let's go to Des Moines. Here's the farmers market. A little hanging out Labor Day weekend in the backyard with Pixie and Dad. That fort has seen better days, but still hanging in there. Goodness gracious. That's my folks' house. It's great. All right, now we're at Rico Bene's. Now we're running the hot chocolate. Oh, now we're done. The hot chocolate run. Very fun. Under Whacker. Drake Diner in Des Moines there. Okay, this is Champagne. This is Kankakee. Heather and Linda having some fun. Another train museum. And there's Josh in a caboose. Here's the most rain, the heaviest hail kind of that I've seen with my own eyes. The garage is usually a nice place to be during the rain, but the hail was bouncing like 10 feet into the garage and caused this flooding here, which, you got to get to teach, you got to get to work. So I saw that the water was only a couple inches deep. It wasn't quite as bad as it looked. And we sent it in the Honda Fit and we made it through. I'm glad I did not ruin the car. This is a great spot. Montgomery Ward Park, right along the river. I love it here, especially this time of day. Beautiful. Also good. Pington Park. Soccer Park. Millennium Park. Let's see. Cubs. Cubs team pitched a no-hitter. So after teaching, I went over and had some pizza and watched the last couple innings at Gallagher Way there. Here's a bridge. This is the 18th Street Bridge again, going up, which I think is very neat. And I'll be a dad soon, so I'm allowed to think that lame things are neat. Here's some boats. Here's Chicago from the Bridgeport Art. Eva and Heather up on the London House. There's that was Easter again. Here's on water taxi with Heather and Rob, checking it out, having a nice time. Beautiful way to get around. I wish it ran all year. Here's a barge crane. Here's a barge, tugging barge, neat tugging barge in Dubuque, going through the Lock and Dam over there. I've never seen a boat, a big tugboat actually in the locks like this. So that worked out cool. That was nice to see. Viking Metro multimodal transportation, what fun! Over the bridge over from Pington Park again. Here it is, different perspective. And let's see here. Yeah, okay. Now this is the best tree in Evergreen Park by my reckoning. This is a drawing Linda did of our house for our Friendsgiving menu. It's Rob, Friendsgiving, not the whole gang, but some of the gang. There's Michael, MVP. Liz and Anna, the salmon stuffing all turned out great. We had a total of 35 people in our home. It was a lot. It was fun. Here's Rob's Christmas dinner. Here's New Year's dinner with the Latvians. Here's the Latvians at Portillo's. Here's our good buddies David and Joy at the Polo Inn, where the chef will sing hymns to. There's Mom at Christmas. Here's Heather at Christmas. Here's the Des Moines Botanical Center at Christmas. We're going to have a baby, and we got a crazy 3D scan of that. Look at that baby. My goodness. Anyway, thanks for watching. Great year. I'll try to do less next year. Sorry. Bye.